Hello and welcome back to another episode of Potentially Rare Switch Games. It's been a little while since I've made an episode. Sorry about that, it's a bit belated. Life's got in the way a little bit, to be honest. I've had a bunch of stuff that's come through the post, doing my other videos on sort of unboxing retro games and things like that. And I kind of forgot really to do an episode on a game which I believe is going to be relatively rare in years to come. In actual fact, this is the first time that I've done an episode where a game is no longer available brand new. And in previous episodes you've been able to see some of the games that I've covered, even some of the earlier Super Rare Games ones, like Human Fall Flat and the Flame and the Flood, that those games are still available brand new from their website. But this particular game that I'm covering in this episode, you can no longer get it. So you were going to have to search on eBay to find this game. At this moment in time, it's not an amazing amount more than what it would have retailed for with, in this case, Super Rare Games. But you're going to have to catch on this one quickly and act on it if you actually want this game, because I can see it's going to pass hands for good money in years to come. And let's talk about the game itself, without further ado, because one day I come back from work and I had a package that had dropped on my doormat, and it was indeed one of these, which is obviously a Switch game. And from Super Rare Games came this game, Shelter Generations, which is Circle Interactive and Super Rare Games teamed up together. And this was the third release by Super Rare Games, following in the footsteps of Human Fall Flat and The Flame and the Flood. This one here, I think, has a better scoring than the previous two, if I'm led to believe correct. It's either that way around or it's the other way around. The other two games scored better than this one, but I think this one would have scored better than Flame and Flood, because I don't think that was a particularly good game, to be honest. I sat down and gave that a try, following on from my previous episode with Super Rare Games. Didn't really like that game, but this one I feel that I might very well like. So as I said, this is a belated episode. We're in August now, middle of August, no doubt, and this game came out in July, so this is why this sold out. Also, another thing that's worth taking into account is that the Super Rare Games used to do 5,000 copies of their games. They've slimmed that down to 3,000 copies now. So, although a bunch of their original games are still kicking about on their website, this game was getting to the point where the available copy units were dropping down and down and down. And I think Super Rare Games actually gave fair warning saying there were 50 copies left, like a week or two back. Those are gone now. So you cannot get this game anymore from them. So, as you can see, in usual Super Rare Games style, we've got a nice Super Rare Games sticker on the front of the box here. You've got a different variation of the Super Rare Games sticker inside there as well, which again you can put on your Switch console, or you can put it on your pencil case, or you can put it on your Switch's case. Or even you can stick it on the box of the game for a Philistine. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. Freedom of choice. Good, we like that. Also, as you can see, there are actually some trading cards in there as well. So I'm going to do a close-up in a minute of the contents of the game. We'll open it together, we'll see what's in there, and see what we've got. And it's quite interesting. I mean, going by the cover art to begin with, you've got sort of a big cat on the front here, and little baby here and here. So the object of the game is that you play the mother big cat, and you have to look after the babies, nurture them, and make sure that they don't succumb to any predators. You have to make sure they eat and grow up to the point where they're able to fend in the world by themselves. There's also a download content for this game, which you play as the little baby, the baby cat, and you've got you find your own way. You've been separated away from your pack, and you've got to sort of find your way back and back to your mother. And it's a totally different mechanic of the game itself. Stylistic wise, it reminds me a little bit of Okami, to be honest. I'd never heard of this game before Super Rare Games were like, hey guys, we're releasing this. After giving many hints on Twitter about what the game would be, people were getting into a mad frenzy as to what the game would be. There was a little bit of disappointment from a few fans. Myself, I wasn't really expecting anything, so I went in with an open mind. I was quite pleased. It looks really cool. and it looks like a collectible game really. I mean, in 10 years time you see this crop up in your local video game retailer, whoever it might be in 10 years time. You're going to think, what the hell's that game? I've never even seen that before, you know. So yeah, that's what it's all about really. That's the name of the game, isn't it? Discovery in the library of games, stuff you've never seen before. But yeah, so it says on the back of the little blurb, in Shells Generations you embark on unique journeys in the wild that present varied challenges and familial love. Sorry. It's a memorable experience wherever you play. There are 2 games included in this special digital collection, Shelter 2 with the Mountains DLC included. So it follows the life of Mother Lynx, and it's paramount that you nurture your cubs for their basic survival. You need to hunt for food and utilise materials that are found in the game world itself. And yeah, you have to make sure that obviously they drink, they eat, they've got sustenance and all that lot. And then when they reach adulthood, that's the aim of the game. It plays differently, I think, each time you play it. The second game is Pause, a Shelter 2 game, which is a standalone experience, and that's the one where you basically play as the Cubs' point of view instead. So good value for money with this one. It was $29.98. eBay prices are now around about 35 quid. But what we'll do is we'll have a close up now so we can see what's in the package, shall we? Okay, so here's our package up close. As you can see, that beautiful cover art that's on the front there. You've got your spine there, which is Super Rare Games with your number 3 written down the bottom. Uniforms that, it keeps all of that intact. Some people have complained that the text for the game isn't actually centralised here, which is a bit of a pain for those with an OCD. Myself, doesn't really bother me. Right, so let's get this open. Okay, slipping out with this packet. We'll put that off to the side for future reference. Right, it's nicely shrink wrapped inside as well. So environmental impact be damned. Just kidding, guys, but right, so as it would look as a retail package release, what we'll do is we'll have a look at that one in a second. Have a little close up of our Super Rare Games sticker. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I really like the effects on that. That's yeah, it's probably the best sticker they've actually made so far, to be honest. I'm going to put that in the box of my game. I'm not actually going to sort of put that on anything because it retains a bit of the value, but I'm going to play the game at some point. Right, okay, so we've got the Super Rare Games cards. We'll have a look at those, see who and what we've got, as we do every single time. Let's see if we can get this open. Now it's like when you're opening a pack of sweets. I'm trying to get in there. Okay, discard the packaging. Right, okay, so we have obviously advertising the game itself, Shells Generations. We have the wolf, which roaming on the freezing tundra, they have their strength in numbers. So that is going to be card number 2. The eagle, impending, swooping, lethal. She also has mouths to feed. This is Super Rare Games card number 3. And Shells Generations itself, which is a nice little card, isn't it? It's pretty cool. Right, let's have a look inside the box as well and see what we've got there. What the cartridge looks like. Hopefully it's got a rip tag here somewhere. Which one is bed? And make our way down. Quick and easy way to open these, so actually if you ruffle it on the side of a desk or something. Right, inside we have got some beautiful artwork there. Some poor antelope or deer is copping it there from the lynxes. There's your cartridge. That looks pretty cool, isn't it? Very, very cool. I love that cartridge. It's really, really nice. Yeah. The only thing I think would let this down if I was going to be a critique is this down here. But obviously don't like a lowercase g when it's using a name, but I should just imagine it's done for the reasons for the game, with how styled it is. But also I don't think the typeface is quite right on that. So yeah, that's just me. But if I was going to put this in a switch and turn our switch on, I'm just taking myself off to sleep. Let's have a look at the cartridge itself in the machine and see what our game icon is like. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually really nice. Yeah, very good. Right, loads up as you would expect. It's pretty cool. As to your options, if you want English or Japanese, which we're going to go with English on this particular occasion. So against logos and stuff. Might and Delight. Guys that develop it. Initori. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice menu as well. Really goes to the games there. So you've got the soundtracks on the side there. Your Pause game, Shelter 2 game, The Lonesome Fog, and Fables from the Den. Yeah, that's pretty aesthetically pleasing. And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of link the trailer for the game now. So you have to keep in mind there that the game isn't actually available on you anymore, as I've said a couple of times in the episode. So you know, seek it out. It seems like it's a really good game. Critics wise, it's sort of mixed bag with where it placed score wise, but really it's open to interpretation for how you feel the game is supposed to be. It seems quite unique in a world where we're just full of like first person shooters and racing games nowadays. Nice story driven game based on nature seems to be work and break really. So it gets my recommendation certainly. And the guys at Super Games, fantastic what they're doing. Limiting down to 3,000 copies I think was a good move on their behalf. They've got more high profile games coming in the next sort of couple of months. So you've got Mutant Mudds collection which is coming I think on the 20th of August. And then you've also got quite high profile games like Worms is included in their lineup a little bit later on. So you've got Limited Run that are doing their thing. You've got Super Games doing theirs as well. Both seem to be picking up more and more high profile games, and that's the aim of it really, isn't it? So yeah, support these guys. Follow them on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter as well. Also like and subscribe. That'd be great if you could, and maybe share my video around. Just really starting out with these sort of things, and we could get the channel out there a little bit more. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But we'll see you probably in another episode where I'll be covering the follow-up to this, which is Lovers in a Dangerous Space, I believe. That one arrived on my doormat the other day, but obviously I have to do this one first because I forgot that I needed to do another episode of this show. So we'll see you on the next time. Alright.